Hello and happy Friday, all of you out there, wherever you are and whenever you may be listening. Tonight's WKMC TV matchup is brought to you by one of our sponsors, as usual. A lot of folks always out here making sure we move forward. But tonight's matchup is featuring two of the most successful high school teams in the entire country here, Dan. You've got, as they come on the field now, the defending Class 2A state champion Southern Columbia Tigers and the visiting Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. My name is Jim Lesko. Alongside me is my brother Dan. Jose Gonzalez supports us from the sidelines, and together we're coming to you live from Tiger Stadium in Catawissa, Pennsylvania. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to find two teams more familiar with each other than these two. They faced off 7 times over the last 4 years, including twice a season in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Now, the Tigers have won all 7 of those matchups, along with every other matchup they've had against everybody else.
Yeah.
En route to the longest active streak of wins in the entire country, Dan, at 64 straight matchups. Now, the Red Tornadoes on the other side, Pennsylvania's winningest program.
Yes.
Coming in tonight's game on a streak of their own, having reeled off 3 straight wins after a Week 1 loss.
Yeah, Jim, and honestly, that most recent victory, a 21-7 win over a very, very tough Montoursville Warriors team, was by far the most impressive of the season, without a doubt. Offensively, they controlled the ball. Feliciano had another great game rushing the ball on the ground, over 100 yards rushing. He kind of tore it up along, but everybody, the whole offense was in sync last week. And outside of an 86-yard touchdown run late by Rocco Palizzi, who's one of the better running backs that you're going to see throughout this area, the Red Tornado defense handled a very potent Warriors offense and looked extremely impressive doing so.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be extremely impressive again tonight, Dan. So we've got the Tigers here. You talk about running backs, and we'll talk about certainly Garcia, Gavin Garcia a lot tonight. But the Tigers, for the first time that I can really remember, were really tested last week versus Wyoming area.
For sure.
They needed a goal line stand and then a 99-yard drive to come out victorious there. And at the end of the day, again, I think anybody who was watching would tell you, regardless of how they got there, it's 64 straight now. So we're going to pause here for the national anthem. Tiger Stadium again, Southern Columbia Tigers, Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes. This WKMC TV broadcast brought to you by Hollywood Pizza in Mount Carmel. We'll talk about them a little bit more later as well. But before the break, we were talking about Southern's adventure last week with Wyoming area. And again, they come out 37-30, victorious to keep that streak alive. But really, they do so on the legs of Gavin Garcia as he runs for a career high 259, Dan, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jim, they absolutely leaned on Garcia, the reigning Pennsylvania Class 2A Player of the Year. So why not lean on him, right? And he took over the game in that 4th quarter, making big plays defensively, along with carrying the load on the way to their humongous comeback victory. They were down, I believe, 19 points at one point. So the Red Tornadoes defense tonight should be predicated on slowing Garcia down and forcing quarterback Liam Claiborne to put the ball in the air.
And as the teams head out for the coin toss, Dan, on the southern side, it looks like you've got Garcia left to right. That's Garcia, Savitsky, Klebon, and Berlitz. For the Red Tornadoes from left to right, I'm going to try to see through here. It looks like Stellar, Nestico, Davitt, and Feliciano. The Red Tornadoes are going to receive the kick to start the game, so we'll get to see that Red Tornado offense first, Dan.
Yeah, and that Red Tornado offense, we talked about how good they were last week, and that'll take me right into the Red Tornadoes' keys for the game tonight.
See how that works?
Yep, I like that. So, starting with the Red Tornadoes, they need to control the clock. They had the ball for nearly 3 entire quarters last week, 35 minutes and 40 seconds. That's second all-time time of possession. So they're going to need to do that to really keep the ball out of that potent Tigers offense hands. They got to stop the run. They got to make the Tigers one-dimensional. And try to catch lightning tonight. It's been since 2011-12 season was the last time the Red Tornadoes were able to defeat the Tigers.
Last time anybody defeated them in regular season. It's been a decade.
That's very
true. Which doesn't even sound right when you say it.
It doesn't, but it's accurate. And the Red Tornadoes got to catch some lightning tonight. Make something happen, and try and pull out the win.
And so on the other side, the guys wearing those black jerseys tonight, Dan, obviously they're going to try really hard to make sure that doesn't happen. How do they make sure that at the end of the night they're looking at a 65-game overall win streak?
Well, for the Tigers, they want to make MCA one-dimensional. They want to start fast because last week they got off to a slow start and they had to make a humongous comeback, which they did. But I'm sure they don't want that stress. I'm sure Coach Roth doesn't want that stress again this week. And they got to open up run lanes, meaning they're going to have Claiborne kind of work those safeties because Michael Farinato is the Red Tornadoes' third leading tackler defensively from that safety spot. So he's got to be creeping up towards the line. So they're going to have to soften them up a little bit to open up run lanes for these guys.
Third leading rusher, too, so you weren't wrong. Isaac Carter kicking off for the Tigers, and we're underway here. It's going to be Farinato at the 7. Picks his way, a lot of black jerseys there, doing a nice job driving him back. Forward progress will start the Red Tornadoes at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, so we'll see that this Red Tornado offense, like I said, Jim, they really need to control that clock, and they need to control the pace of this game if they want a chance to win this. If they let the Tigers control the pace, they're going to be in some trouble.
If you're here with us week in and week out, this will be no surprise to you. The Red Tornadoes come out, shotgun, double wing, Feliciano's in the gun. Stellar to his left, Widener and Farinato on the wings to the right, as well as a double tight set with Chickatano to the left, Schultz to the right, left being the Red Tornado side, Schultz to the Southern Columbia side. And it'll be Stellar up the middle. We'll get across the 25, call it the 20, the 29 it looks like. It's a good run, good gain there of about 6, 2nd and 4.
And Jim, these inside linebackers for the Tigers, Garcia and Fedorov, they're the 2 leading tacklers on the team. Garcia with 50 tackles. They love to blitz up the middle, so that's sometimes where you can find a crease offensively for the Red Tornadoes. So they're going to be looking to have success up the middle.
Red Tornadoes flip the formation, but still all the same. They've got their well-experienced offensive line out there. And this time it's Stellar to the left. He does a nice job. He'll be very near the first down marker.
Looks like he's going to have it, too.
Will be first down, Big Red.
And that's a really good start there for the Big Red. You know, we talked about the way they controlled the pace of the game last week was staying on schedule. It was short gains on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down and moving the chains, continuously moving the chains. No, didn't have any really big plays, but just continually move the ball down the field. They have to continue to do that, and that's a great start.
We talked about that line, big number 75, Matt Kelly. He was on the sideline for the second half last week, so it was a big boost to the Red Tornadoes to have him back. Stellar in motion, they fake the pitch. Feliciano again, he's the Red Tornadoes' leading rusher. He'll get to about the 39, give him 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he does a really good job there. That's a really good job selling that fake. This offense is predicated on the fakes. You know, the fake pitch, everybody carrying out their fakes. It makes the play pop so much harder. So great job there carrying out the fakes there, and good little run there by Feliciano.
10:05 left in the opening quarter. Still scoreless. 2nd and 5 for the Red Tornadoes from their own 40. This time it's the inside handoff to Farinado. He picks his way through. He tries and he bounces to the outside. Farinado's got some field. He makes another guy miss. He's in Tiger territory down to the 41-yard line, so a nice gain there of about 21.
Jim, that's a really nice job there. Farinado saw the cutback there. He almost didn't get there, but was able to evade a couple tacklers and then get out to that sideline. But unfortunately, you're not going to beat Gavin Garcia in space. It's going to be real difficult. Tries to make a move there and gets caught from behind, but a great run to pick up that first down. A well-designed and well-executed play.
And we'll see this on both sides of the ball, regardless of which team has the ball. But you've got 22 guys out there, Dan, and they're all within about 12 yards of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
The Red Tornadoes have to take a timeout there, as there was some trouble getting the play in from the sideline. And again, you've got that momentum going forward. You don't want to give up 5 yards on a delay of game.
Agreed, Jim. That's a good timeout there. A little bit earlier than Coach Darrow wanted to use it, obviously. But at that point in time, you're right. You got some momentum moving. You're moving in the right direction against a very tough defense. You don't want to give them anything.
So, Dan, you talked about it at the outset about the Red Tornadoes wanting to control the clock. Again, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Keep the ball out of Garcia's hands, keep it out of Barnes' hand, Klebon, Rose, all those playmakers that are wearing black and gold tonight. Yep. The other thing that comes with that, last week, Montoursville, in that, you know, they only had the ball for, what's the math? What's the math there? 12 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever it winds up being. 12-20, right? They only ran 26 plays as well. So you can hold the team down if you only give them 26 attempts, when you consider Garcia, for instance, had 23 carries himself last week.
Yeah, that's definitely an impressive stat line right there. And I think as of right now, the best that our stat man Jose was able to find.
Yeah, yep. So we'll see what the Red Tornadoes do again. 1st and 10 from the 40. Stellar in motion. They hand it off to Farinado. A nice play made there by number 29. That's Jake, the aforementioned Jake Rose, dragging down Farinado before he could get really going, as he had a lane there, Dan.
Yeah, Rose coming from that outside linebacker spot, played that like a defensive end, let the offensive line move upfield, and was able to kind of stay on the line of scrimmage and work his way down. Didn't get into the backfield because that would have let that pop for Farinado. Nice play there by Rose.
Red Tornadoes consult their wristbands. Farinado in motion, they fake it to him. This one's going to be stellar up the middle, and he'll be dropped. That's a nice play made by number 28, Trevor Yorks, in there making the stop before Farinado could get further than the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and Jim, that's you know, we talked about it. Red Tornadoes wanted to stay on schedule here, and it looks like they're going to go open things up here a little bit with Verano coming in for Stellar. Looks like they're going to open it up a little bit. Might see Feliciano put the ball in the air here.
Farinado's going to be split out to the left. Verano split to the right. They'll stay with the double tight end set, and Widener will be to Feliciano's right. Feliciano's going to throw. He looks immediately in Verano's direction, makes the catch. We'll see if he got to the sticks.
It's very close.
Then a 1st down, so big conversion there for the Red Tornadoes.
And Jim, you know, I talked about this. I don't remember if it was last week or if it was during the Shikellamy game, but there's a lot of open space, and you want to be able to. That's almost like a long handoff. That short pass. Feliciano is going to have a lot of success with that, and you're going to get your playmakers with the ball in space. I like the underneath passing game that Coach Darrow decided to go with there.
And they're going to stick with that look on 1st and 10 from the 30. This time Feliciano is going to keep it himself on a draw. He'll bounce across the 25, down to the 24, pick up 6, 2nd and 4.
And again, Jim, you know, it's the little wrinkles. Those are the same plays. You're going to see the same guys touching the ball: Feliciano, Stellar, Farinado, Verano. But just those little wrinkles that Coach Darrow is able to throw in there, here and there, kind of are what makes these plays, gets these guys these little alleys to make big plays there. Feliciano did a good job fighting his way through there too.
Verano out, Stellar back in. So they go back to the initial set. Farinado in motion, they'll fake it to him and have Stellar up the middle. Who's going to fight? He's going to be very close again to that first down marker. Wait and see if they...
Looks like they're calling it third down here, so it's going to be third real short.
The nose of the football looks like is all they're missing here.
They're up on the line quick here. They want to be able to get that first down here as quickly as possible. I'd like to see a quick snap to Widener up the middle here.
So, and again, Dan, this looks a lot like the opening drive last week. It's been 5+ minutes already in this Red Tornado drive.
Yeah.
Now there's a problem with the snap. Stellar's got to dive on it. The Red Tornadoes, for all the work, are going to lose about 13 yards on that one. Excuse me, it's going to be more than that until they mark it. It's going to go all the way back to the 36-yard line, so that's a loss of 15. And now on 4th and 16, the Red Tornadoes are going to punt it away.
Yeah, Jim, that's a killer there. That was a great starting drive for the Red Tornadoes, moving the ball at will, 3 first downs, and then you have the bad snap on a critical third down. So we'll see if Stellar can pin him deep here.
It's a good snap to Stellar. Stellar's kick is up, and he's angling it. It's going to be into the end zone. So the Tigers are going to start 1st and 10 on their own 20. It's going to net about 16 yards there on the punt. 5:43 left in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game here at Tiger Stadium in Catawissa, Pennsylvania.
So now, Jim, we're going to see that, the aforementioned Gavin Garcia out there with this tough Tiger offense. So we're going to see how the Red Tornadoes decide to play this defensively.
Again, the disappointment of the drive stalling out. You got to get over that very quickly or else the Tigers will make you pay. So they come out in their wing tee set. Klebon's under center. That's the handoff to, it's number 24, it looked like. That's Wislowski, so it's good to see him back. Wislowski picks up about, looks like they're going to give him 11. Couldn't quite, he was right around there. It was hard to tell where he went out of bounds, but it'll be 11, 1st and 10 Tigers.
Yeah, you're right. It is nice to see Wislowski back. He's a big playmaker for this Tiger team. He's the 3rd leading rusher, even after missing an entire game last week.
A little trouble with the snap there for Klebon. He's going to keep it himself around the corner, and he'll just do what he can to pick up some yards and get out of bounds. He'll get up close to another first down. We'll see where they said he stepped out. It'll be the 39, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, so this is, again, this is another tough one for the Red Tornadoes there. It looked like they might have been able to catch a break. A little bit of trouble with the snap there by Klebon, but he just tucks it and gets 8 yards on his own. It's tough when you see things like that.
So you've got Gavin Garcia. He's in the left wing here, closest to us. That's Wes Barnes in the backfield, and it's going to be Barnes. He'll pick his way and bounce to the outside. Now he's in the open field. Verano, is the only one that had a chance to bring him down. He does, but not before he gets into Red Tornado territory, down to the 40-yard line, they'll call him. So 1st and 10 Tigers from there.
Yeah, Jim, we talk about it every year, every time we play Southern Columbia. It doesn't matter who's in that backfield. Somehow it's just like the Red Tornadoes. It's a plug and play. You plug in new players, and they figure it out, and they have success with it. So Coach Roth does always a good job of doing it.
And this time we'll see Garcia off the right side. The Red Tornadoes do a good job of bottling him up. Nothing too fancy there with that one. We're going to give it to our number 1 and see what he can make happen. But fortunately for the Red Tornadoes, they stop him there after a yard.
Yeah, a lot of Coach Roth's offense is predicated on misdirection and pulling guards and stuff like that. That was one of those straight open sets with a straight power. Garcia behind Barnes, and that tough Red Tornado front did a really good job of getting a stop there.
Similar look here. You have Rose split out by himself down here at the bottom of the screen. They're going to do a short toss to Garcia, who tries to make a move, but a great play made by Davitt to not let Garcia out of his grasp.
That's a really great job there by Davitt, getting into the backfield. Garcia is not the easiest guy to tackle in open space. I mean, we've seen it all throughout the year. If you want to check out his Max Preps highlights, they're pretty impressive. I've seen him make at least 12 guys miss when there's only 11 defenders on the team. So Davitt does a really good job of just getting a hold of an ankle and hanging on until the cavalry gets there.
A little more open as far as Southern Columbia goes here on 3rd and 12. Klebon's going to throw it. He's looking for Rose. Now he stops. They have a screen set up for Barnes. The Red Tornadoes are ready. They do a nice job of staying home, and they'll knock Barnes out of bounds after he picks up about 5. It's going to be 4th and 7.
Yeah, that was really well defended there again. Davitt did a good job. You're right. He stayed home, and instead of, biting on that, it's easy for the linemen to get upfield and do that. But the linebackers have to stay home. They're the ones that have to cover that back out of the backfield. And Davitt did a really good job just flowing with it and making the play. So critical 4th down play here.
The Tigers go back to the old standby. Tight wing T. Wisłowski, they're going to hand it to him. It's an inside handoff to Garcia, and Garcia's got some space. Now he's on the right side. He's inside the 20. And look at that breakaway speed. Just like that, it's 6-0 Tigers. Gavin Garcia from 37 yards out on 4th and 7.
Yeah, and that's tough there. I just talked about how, this Geisinger offense, or this Tiger offense is predicated on a lot of misdirection, Jim. And you're right, Garcia just gets out there on the reverse. And the Red Tornadoes, no one was home there. And he, like you said, that breakaway speed, once he gets to the sideline, it's hard to do anything from there.
Well, let's hold on here because it looks like Carter's kick was blocked. Oh, all right, those officials came in from the side pretty quick. I thought there was a flag that I missed. But alas, 6-0 Tigers.
Yeah, that's now we're going to look for the Red Tornadoes to respond here. This is they had a lot of success on the last drive after that snap really kind of took the wind out of their sails there. You know what I mean? They were moving the ball pretty well, and that really took the wind out of their sails. And then you give up that 4th down conversion that turns into a long touchdown for Garcia. So this is all about how you're going to respond here now for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and I think that's what you see, the Red Tornado coaching staff reminding their guys, hey, we're less than 9 minutes into this game. You've shown you can move the football. You've shown you can stop them too. You're going to give up the big play to Garcia. That's going to happen, unfortunately.
Right.
If you're a Red Tornado fan, that's what this kid does. That's how it's been. Again, we said we ran for 259 yards last week.
But now you get the ball back offensively, and you continue to grind it out, grind that clock down, give him less opportunities to have the ball in his hand.
That kickoff is going to bounce, so it'll be Farinato. He takes it at about the 11, and he'll go down at the 26-yard line. Now we're going to get a flag. A little extracurricular activity there. That'll be against the Tigers. Red Tornadoes are going to start off this drive at their 41, courtesy of the personal foul.
Yeah, and that's a good job there by the referee, being Johnny on the spot, making that call. Once we get the official call here, we'll see what it is, but we're pretty sure what it's going to be. $3:38 left in the first quarter. The Red Tornadoes again are going to pick up 15 here, courtesy of the personal foul. So it'll actually be they're going to mark it at the 42-yard line. Okay, yeah. So that's going to be good starting field position for the Red Tornadoes. Let's see if they can get something done with it here.
Same tight look from Mount Carmel. Again, they're going to rely on those hosses up front, much like they did last week.
Yep.
Ferrano in motion. They fake it to him. Feliciano fakes it to Stellar. He keeps it himself, but a huge play made by number 32, Dominic Fedorov, to drop Feliciano in the backfield, loss of 3.
We talked about it. I talked about it earlier, Jim. Those inside linebackers, it is Garrett Garcia and Dominic Fedorov, those two leading tacklers, the two inside linebackers. They pretty much get to go whenever they want.
Yeah.
Coach Roth gives them free reign. Hey, if you want to blitz, if you see a gap, go for it. Sometimes they read it, and it's right. Sometimes they read it, and it turns into a big play for the offense. That time, big play defensively.
A little more open here for the Red Tornadoes. Feliciano's going to throw again. It's a quick catch to Farinato. It was a good job catching it. tries to get outside, but to your point before, he's trying to make that move on Gavin Garcia, and that's not always going to work out for you.
Yeah, definitely not. But again, I like the way Coach Dara is going. Hit these guys on these underneath routes. Farinado, Verano, they're your playmakers. They're your speed guys. Get them the ball in space and let them do what they do. It's a good job of kind of just getting the yardage back, plus a little bit more that you just lost in the last play.
So it'll be 3rd and 9. Last time, the Red Tornadoes had a big 3rd down conversion on the last drive around this part of the field to keep things moving. They went to Farinado. We'll see if they opt to throw it again. He split out to the left, Verano to the right. Feliciano goes straight back. He's going to throw it, and he's going to put it out there for Verano, who's got a step. He's going to make the catch. A huge pitch and catch to Verano all the way down inside the 25. They're going to mark him at the 24-yard line. So a beautiful ball by Feliciano and a great job of Verano pulling that in and taking it to the ground.
The concentration by Verano there is great. He's got hands all over his face and on the ball as he's taking that to the ground. He does a great job reeling that in, and it looks like Tornadoes want to go a little tempo here, keep that momentum rolling.
And again, it's that same setup, Danny. You wonder if they're seeing, when they have the two split out, the two receivers split out, do you open up the middle just enough?
I think so.
Feliciano, now he runs up the middle, and he's upended. Again, a lot of black jerseys in there. Looks like we got 28 that York's in there. He had something to say.
Jim, I'd really like to see, with Coach Dara having this kind of more open set, like you said, it's opening up the middle. It's spreading things out a little bit. I'd like to see him hit Chicatano or Schultz from one of them tight end spots, have them leak out down the seam. You might be able to catch the Tigers off guard and get behind that safety out there.
Feliciano's got 2 passing touchdowns on the years through the first 4 weeks, 1 to Schultz and 1 to Chicatano, to your point, Dan. And it looks like you might get what you want, but he's under pressure immediately. He tries to stay on his feet. So many black jerseys. I'm not even sure who gets the credit on that sack, Dan. There were a lot of guys there, but they're going to mark him back at the 29-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 15 now.
Yeah, I think that one goes to the defense. That sack goes to the defense there. Yeah, that's tough there. You're right. I got exactly what I wanted. It looked like Coach Dara sent out Chicatano and Schultz, but the problem with doing that is you get that pressure off the edge, which forced Feliciano to step up into the pressure coming up the middle. There was really nowhere for him to go with the ball. He didn't have any time to get it out.
About half a minute left here in the opening quarter. Feliciano is going to roll to the right. He's trying to get the ball downfield. He's going to get sacked here. So that's going to bring up 4th down. But before that, it's a hold against the Red Tornadoes. So we'll see what Coach Roth does.
Yeah, do you want to make it a 3rd and 25, or do you want to make it a 4th and 10?
Right.
Is the question.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be 3rd and a mile if you opt that. Maybe you do for the punt.
He is taking him back, it looks like.
Because based on where they threw that flag, that's going to be 10 from there. So, yeah,
so
take it back to almost midfield here. And you see what they've got, the 14 for a 1st down. So you're going to be looking at about, what, a 3rd and about 31.
Yeah,
I think till it's all said and done.
45 here, yeah. Yeah, that's tough. But again, another opportunity on 3rd down. Maybe see if they can get another deep ball here to Verano or Farinado. They're gonna keep going that way. It looks like they're gonna run some twins here.
Yeah, twins set to the left with Verano and Farinado. Again, the double tight will stay. Widener's in there is what amounts to a personal protector, you think, for Feliciano. But the clock is about 10 seconds in the quarter. The Red Tornadoes don't have to snap it. It doesn't look like they're going to, based on Feliciano's body language.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that'll do it. The clock hits zeros at the end of the first quarter. It's Tigers 6, Mount Carmel nothing.
Yeah, Jim, and that's that holding penalty there is tough for the Red Tornadoes, but with the pressure on Feliciano there, like I said, it would have brought up about a 4th and 10. Now they were in 4-down territory at the time. Obviously, this kind of pushes them out of 4-down territory, but they get another opportunity here on 3rd down. So I think Coach Dara was very content with letting that quarter wind down, because now you've got 3rd and 31, like you said, 3rd and a mile here. And we got a little bit of extra time to talk about it. Let's get a good play in here and try and get some of that back to make it a 4th and manageable.
Yeah, and I think what you take out of that quarter for the Red Tornadoes is you made 2 mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? You got the snap that cost you, and then I think even before the hold, you just kind of got sucked in on the reverse to Garcia.
And that's what it is. You know what I mean? You have guys. You know, you're all ramped up. It's the first quarter in a rivalry game on a 4th down. You want to be the guy to make the play. You get a little overzealous. You get out of position, and they hit you with the reverse. It happens. But you're right. Those 2 big plays are the only problems the Red Tornadoes have had today.
So here we go again, 3rd and 31. Feliciano's going to go straight back. There's a penalty, a flag thrown immediately, and he's going to get sacked for a huge loss. He'll go back into Red Tornado territory, all the way back.
Usually would have flagged that early. It's a offside penalty.
So they're going to call a sideline infraction against the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's usually a.
So we'll get a warning. So it's not gonna amount to much, which is why I was a little confused for a second, because I thought you usually get a warning first.
Yeah, which you're right, and that sack there, huge for the Tigers. So we'll see Farinado again here.
Stellar punt for the Red Tornadoes. We've got 4th and forever, we'll say, but it's a good kick by Stellar, high kick. Shouldn't be too much of an opportunity to return. It's going to get a good bounce inside the 10. Garcia's going to try to pick it up and run.
Not a great idea there, but he does hang on to it.
That's not going to. Doesn't work out that time. It'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 9-yard line.
And Jim, it's not great to joke about, but I really think sometimes Garcia just likes to challenge himself. Garcia's like, let me see if I can make something happen here. He's had some impressive punt and kick returns this year. He's like, maybe I can do something even more crazy.
Yeah, if you're not going to kick it to me, I'll go find it.
Right. Yeah. But good job there by Stellar. Really nice job of pinning the Tigers deep.
Clebon under center in the wing tee. That is Garcia off the right side, and he'll come back to the middle. Nice run there, stepping through some tackles. He'll get to about the 15-yard line for a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and this is a big defensive series here for the Red Tornadoes to start the 2nd quarter. You're only down 1 score. You want to keep it right here. You don't want to go down 2 scores to a tough team like this, because that's when they start to pull away. And that's when you start offensively a little bit to press. So you really want to keep this at one possession game.
Wazlowski in motion, and that's him off the left side. He'll get the 1st down. That develops quick, Dan.
Yes, it does. It really does. I mean, that's like that. It's a straight trap coming back, and they find that hole just like the Red Tornadoes do on that inside sally that they run. You know, Wazlowski does a really good job of getting. He's almost finding his seam before the ball's snapped. So then he knows where his blocks are going to be. He gets the ball in his hands, and he's already hitting that gap.
A little slow getting the call in there on the Tiger side. Play clock is about 5 already, so they're coming up to the ball quick. They'll get it off just in time. It's a pitch. Try to see a jersey number there.
22.
Pitch to Masala, so he'll get out to about the 26-yard line. They'll give him 4 on that one, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Davitt, turning that back inside. It looked like he had Gavin Garcia out in front, blocking him. Put a nice little shot on him, but he was able to kind of shed off the blocker and turn that inside, and was the first one on the scene there to take Masala down.
Masala in motion. Oh, another problem with the snap, and a pitch and a bounce. Whew.
Still somehow.
75, Tank Kelly's going to make the tackle of Barnes about the 30-yard line, so it'll still wind up a gain of about 4, but I think that ball was on the turf more than it wasn't on that play.
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, you're right. Clebon had a little issue with the snap, and then on the pitch, Barnes looked like he mishandled it a little bit there, but still was able to pick up 3-4 yards. Impressive.
9:05 and counting here in the second quarter. Tigers on top 6-0 with the football, 3rd and 2. And this time it's Garcia. He'll get the first down. Not much more,
actually,
but he didn't need a whole lot.
Barnes there.
Yep, check that. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah. No, I always got you. And, you know, we see Masala still in there offensively. Looked like on that last run by Wislowski, he kind of came off the field a little bit slow, and he's getting worked on there on the sideline. So hopefully we get him back out there. Kid's a gamer, man.
Keep Jake Rose in there, split out. He's the bottom of the screen here. Klebon's going to hand it off, and that time it is to Garcia, and he'll get over the 40 to the 41-yard line. And again, nice tough run there as expected. What's interesting, Dan, is this game thus far, at least, is playing out a lot of the ways the Red Tornadoes might want it to.
Yeah, I agree. You know, they're outside of the one touchdown that the Tigers have. They're not allowing the big play. This clock just keeps winding and winding and winding. You shorten this game, you make it much closer.
Masala in motion. There's the pitch to Barnes. Barnes again, another Tiger first down. It's like Keir out there for the Red Tornadoes on the tackle. Tank Kelly, number 75, he'll get a
he was just
a blow here again.
He just came in there for one play. Kellen Geary had his helmet came off on the last play. Tank came in, filled the spot, and Geary's right back in there. So it looks like they're keeping a little bit of the speed on the defensive line here with Moser, Geary, and Keir out there.
Klebon's going to throw it. And it's going to be caught by number 29, Jake Rose. Again, if they throw it deep, they go to Rose. They had him in one-on-one coverage. He made a great adjustment to the ball late. Kept it in all the way to the ground. 1st and goal, Tigers at the 5.
And Jim, there isn't much more that Spears can do there. Spears was draped all over Rose, and Rose was still able to pull that one in. Great coverage by Spears, but an even better ball placement by Klebon, and Rose, great concentration being able to pull that one in.
And that's what Rose brings to this team. It's an ability to take the top off and keep you honest. But this time it's Garcia to the right, and he's going to sprint to the corner. You're not going to catch him. His second touchdown of the night, but there's a flag, and it's a hold against the Tigers. So the excitement will have to pause for a minute. We're going to get a 10-yard holding penalty against the black and gold.
Yeah, and that's that's a good break there for the Red Tornadoes, because go from 1st and goal on the 5 to 1st and goal at the 15. So this will be big. Make them work for it here. You know what I mean? That after the big play, move them back 10, get a little breather with the penalty. You know, them resetting the ball and everything. Catch your breath, take a deep breath, and kind of get recentered here and get ready to play some tough, hard-nosed Red Death defense.
Be back to the 17 till it's all said and done, where the 10 yards from where the hold actually occurred. But the ball's on the ground again. We got flags all over the place. It's going to be a false start against the Tigers. Looked like a little miscommunication there between quarterback and center.
Yeah, now taking back another 5. So again, big for the Red Tornadoes here. It's kind of biting the Tigers kind of shooting themselves in the foot here.
We'll see what Coach Roth opts to do here. Again, it's 22 yards in 4 plays, certainly not out of the ordinary for the Tigers.
Right.
Klebon's going to throw it again. They got a screen set up to Barnes. There's a couple white jerseys there. Barnes does a good job making a few guys miss and fights. Probably gets about 4 more yards than he should have had on that play, just through pure effort by on his part.
But Jim, I just want to give Tom Davitt another shout out there.
We do have another flag on the field here, Dan. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
It's a little obscured by the southern sideline, but you can see the official.
Blocking the back there. Okay, but I want to give another shout out here to Tom Davitt on that play. If anybody has the, those of you watching at home, you're watching on YouTube, you have the ability to move that back and re-watch that replay. Davitt split 2 defenders, went down to his knees, popped back up, and made the play there to stop Barnes. That's a super amazing play there by Davitt. He just a straight effort play defensively.
And again, if you are watching this, that's courtesy of Hollywood Pizza. All they're doing, make sure you're getting out and supporting them, whether it's Supper Club on Thursday nights, on every other Thursday night, I should say, or any night during the week. Hollywood Pizza and Bakery in Mount Carmel. Klebon's going to throw it. He's under pressure. He eludes Kier. Now he's going to take a shot from Davitt. And that
there's flags all over the field here.
We're going to get a little too hard-nosed there, we'll say. We'll wait and see exactly what the call is, but I've got a...
If I had to guess, it's probably going to be helmet to helmet.
Looks like there's a little conversation between the Red Tornado players and the Tiger sideline, not the players, albeit. So now the tricky part there, Dan, is that given that's a personal foul, that's going to be an automatic first down.
Yes, it is, and that is definitely tough for the Red Tornadoes. But with all of Southern Columbia's penalties on the 3 previous plays, I think that last play was first down. So it was still first down. It was first down from the 5, then the 17, then the 22, and so on.
And now it's the 12. They're going to do the inside handoff, and again, that's number 22, Masala again. He'll get down inside the 10.
Yeah,
so I'm going to check myself because it appears that was not an automatic first down because first and goal, it was still first and goal from the 12.
Yeah, and that's I think that's right. Oh, maybe they just decided to go for, they kept it first down because of the penalty, but instead of it being that's a questionable decision there. I'm not sure why they didn't reset the chains, but good call, Jim.
This one's going to be, so it'll be Garcia upended by Stellar. We get down to the 4? Yeah, it'll be the 4. So it's third and goal from the 4 if you look at the chains in the scoreboard. But again, what's a little bit confusing there is after the automatic first down on the hit to the helmet, it was first and goal from the 12 when I would have thought it would have been first and 10 from the 12 with the Tigers having an opportunity to pick up a first down inside the 2.
Agreed, but referees made the call.
Nevertheless, here we are.
Stay with it on the field. Play the ball as it lies.
And it's Barnes, and he's not going to get in yet. So it's going to be 4th down from about the 1, Dan. So this looks a little bit like what happened last week.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Coach Dyer here send in Tank, send in the beef here down to the goal line. You got a goal line stand coming for the Red Tornadoes, and we'll see what we get here from this. This is true Coal Region football at its finest right here.
So biggest play of the night by far so far, and it is Barnes, and he's in, standing up. Touchdown, Tigers.
Yeah, and that's a tough one there. Red Tornadoes doing everything they can to keep the Tigers out of the end zone, and on a 4th down play, Barnes is able to push it in. So that's tough for the Red Tornadoes. That's definitely takes a little wind out of your sails, but defense has to stay on the field because the Tigers are going for 2.
No surprise there.
No. And they've done this throughout the year. It seems like they've had a little bit of trouble in the kicking game with extra points. They've gone for 2 pretty frequently.
Klebon, that's going to be, he didn't get in. Did not get in. So the Red Tornadoes turned Garcia away.
And Jim,
so another big play.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going. As tough as it is that you give up that touchdown on 4th down, you get to get the ball back offensively with a tiny bit of momentum because you do get that big stop on the 2-point conversion. So you know, as much as it hurts that you give up the touchdown after such a tough stand defensively, you get that 2-point conversion stopped. And you go back to the sideline saying, all right, well, we gave up 6, but we didn't give up 8. There's a little silver lining there, which gives you just that little bit of extra momentum.
Again, 12-0 here, Tigers over the Red Tornadoes, 4:27 left in the first half. Just a reminder, the sights and sounds of tonight's game are coming to you live thanks to the generosity of the Red Tornado community near and far. Specifically tonight, Hollywood Pizza and Bakery in Mount Carmel. As the Mount Carmel Area School District and its partners continue to do big things, no donation is too small. Be sure to listen throughout the broadcast for each week for ways to support our efforts, or call 570-339-1500 for more information. Remember, you got to listen. If you're not listening, you don't know how you can support it and keep us on the airwaves. Carter to kick off. Farinado and Spears deep for the Red Tornadoes. That's going to be Farinado at the 7. He's going to bounce to the right, and he slips. He loses his footing around the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. Now they're going to give him the 24.
Yeah, and Jim, now this is one spot where the Red Tornadoes are a little bit at a disadvantage. You know, we talked about that grinded out offense that they run, the way that they did things last week. You know, just controlling the time of possession, controlling the game clock, and moving the ball little by little down the field to get their points. Now you got 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and you want to put 6 points on the board at least before you head into halftime. So you got to kind of open things up a little bit offensively.
It's going to be Stellar up the middle, and he's stacked up quickly by the Tigers.
Yeah, that's tough. Those blitzing linebackers coming up the middle there, getting a lot of penetration, and it's difficult. You know, that the offensive line does everything they can, but when you have linebackers coming, that's an extra guy or an extra 2 guys to pick up blocking, and Stellar with no lead back on that play, there's really no one there.
The other thing here, Dan, too, is we talked about this. Well, we'll get to it after the snap here. Feliciano handoff inside to Farinado, and Farinado makes a few Tigers miss. A nice run out across the 30.
Yeah, that's a really nice run there by Farinado. We talked about it again. Farinado's got really good field vision there, and he does a great job getting up in that seam, and then he's shifty enough to make a few guys miss to get the couple extra yards.
Yeah, it's a big third down here, because like I know, Dan, you and I talked about this before the game. Given that the Tigers elected, you know, they'll get the second half kickoff.
Correct.
You don't want to give the Tigers the ball back here and have them a chance to kind of go back to back and make it a 3 or 4 score game.
Agreed. You really want to convert this third down.
And it's going to be Stellar, because if you're the Red Tornadoes and you need 4 yards, you give it to 24, and he'll do that for you. First down.
Exactly, Jim. We talked about it last week. When in doubt, go to your veteran running back. He's been doing it for you for so long now. He's the senior, he's the captain, he's the leader on this team. Give him the ball and say, go get me a couple yards, and he does it. So that's a huge first down. And now I'm curious to see if we see Coach Dara here. Maybe he wants to get another first down before he starts to go tempo. But if we get a nice gain here on first down, might start moving things a little quicker offensively.
2:38 and counting. It's a high snap. Feliciano does a good job pulling it down. He'll keep it himself, leave his feet, and take a shot for it. That shot courtesy of number 57, Austin Reeder. He'll pick up 3.
Yeah, but a good job there by Feliciano, just handling that snap. Came in a little hot and a little high. He was able to get up there, pull it down, and get what he could get.
Again, the Red Tornadoes, they come out in that shotgun double wing. Stellar is to Feliciano's left. They've got double tight. Farinado in motion. They'll give it to him. He's got some white jerseys in front of him. He cuts back inside. A nice run. Good tackle made ultimately, looks like, by Reeder again, but Farinado will pick up another first down. The Red Tornadoes will have the ball 1st and 10 inside Tiger territory at the 49.
Yeah, Jim, Reeder's coming from a defensive line spot, and that's some impressive lateral speed there coming from a defensive line spot. And unfortunately, he's still down on the play, but give that kid a lot of props. We got Reeder sitting at 5'11", 195, so he's not a really big guy for a defensive lineman, but he's still on the defensive line. Anytime you can move like that, that's impressive. But again,
yeah, you want to talk
down.
about defensive lineman, Dan. His counterpart there on the southern side is Chris Treshuk. He sits at 6'2", 260.
Yeah, you're right.
So
And you talk about the other senior captain on that defensive line, Carson Savitsky, is also 6'2", 250. So they, I'm assuming Reeder's probably at a nose tackle spot because he's more of a speedster. One of those guys you like to get in there and let him move around.
As they tend to Reeder. Again, we'll talk.
Looked like they sent in there Joseph Quinton, number 65, to spell him. Or, I'm sorry, that was Treshuk going in there. You're right.
Well, it is 65 Quinton's in there as well.
Yep.
Quinton's senior brother, Lear, played on some of those state championship
Yes.
Tiger teams as well.
Yes, he did.
So now the Red Tornadoes, again, 1:47. The clock started again once Reeder got off the field. Feliciano keeping himself on the fake pitch. He'll get across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. They'll mark it there.
And now, Jim, now they're across the 50-yard line. Looks like Stellar's starting up the pace here. We're right up on the ball. Time to get moving here.
Red Tornadoes do have 2 timeouts remaining if Coach Dara opts to use them at any point. A lot of time ticking off the clock here. Makes you curious if the Red Tornadoes are content to go into half down 12. That one's to Farinato again. They've had success with this play, but a big play made by Garrett Garcia. He sniffed that one out across the whole field, Dan.
He did, and we talked about, we were talking before the game about some of these former Tigers that have gone on to play, Division I football. We talked about Cal Halliday, how impressive he's been at Michigan State, and we always talked about his lateral speed, and they've got more linebackers with great sideline-to-sideline speed.
3rd and 4, Feliciano's going to throw. He's got Verano behind the defense, but Rose comes up and just can't pull it. The ball was a little underthrown. Jake Rose made a play. It'll fall incomplete. So the Red Tornadoes are looking at 4th and 4 from the Tiger 42 with 32 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, a real tough one there for Feliciano. Like you said, he had David out there in the flat. And I think he's pressing a little bit, wants to make the big play as time's winding down, so he tries to go for the in-between route there, underthrows it a little bit. I think if he would have just dumped that down to David, they would have been able to get the first down. David would have been able to get out of bounds and keep this drive going. But now, a big 4th down play here.
So now the Red Tornadoes are going to go for it here on 4th down. They got to be careful. This is a tough spot in the field.
Let's see if...
And Feliciano's going to call a timeout as they weren't able to get the play just right, which, again, all things considered, is probably understandable.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this is one of those situations for the Red Tornadoes that I think Coach Dyer is probably going to send them out over the ball, have Feliciano hit him with a little hard count, see if they can get a jump for an easy first down here. And if not, maybe use that 3rd timeout and punt the ball away. Like you said, this is a difficult spot on the field. Unless Coach Dara has a play dialed up for this spot, it's one of those spots where even with 32 seconds left, the Tigers can score very quickly.
Yeah, to the extent that I can help, but I'm not giving the Tigers the ball. That's just the fact. I certainly don't want to punt it to Garcia.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you decide to punt the ball, I'm punting that ball into the 6th row, probably. But also trying to get it inside the 20. So maybe towards the Mount Carmel area band truck over there.
Mount Carmel area Big Red Band should be on at halftime tonight. So
yes, they should. They're getting lined up and ready to go now.
They'd love to see nothing more than a touchdown up close and personal. So we'll see what Coach Dara has called in this situation. Twins right for the Red Tornadoes. Again, they still got the double tight. That's David in there to Feliciano's right.
It's like Verano and Spears out there too. We got the speed out there, giving Farinato a breath on the sidelines there, bringing in the fastest kid on the team here to go deep maybe.
You got the ball on the far hash to see if Feliciano rolls that way. He does. He's under pressure immediately. A big hold there. And now you have to think that the Tigers are going to just decline that hold.
Yeah, I would.
And take over 1st and 10 at their own 45 with 25 seconds left in the half.
And that is what they're doing. You see this offense heading out there. And we'll see. It looks like, and you see Gavin Garcia signaling over to the sideline, so pretty much telling Coach Roth, give me the ball. I saw him running over there, waving his hands in the air. He wants the football.
And the pressure there was immediate by Derek Berlitz. He's the one that ended up getting held, and really, at that point, the hold was the second, was the lesser of two evils, in that Berlitz with a full head of steam could have popped that ball loose.
Agreed.
From Feliciano.
Agreed. I think that's one of those situations where you keep your quarterback safe and you take the 10 yards.
So we'll see what the Tigers do. They have their full complement of timeouts, and it's going to be Garcia off the left side. The Red Tornadoes are going to string him out. He's going to come back across the grain, and he's still on his feet. The Red Tornadoes will finally force him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So it took 10 seconds to pick up about 20 yards.
And I talked about it, Jim. Garcia, when it's crunch time, he wants the ball in his hands, and he will rather pretty much run all the time out of the clock and run about 60 yards back and forth across the field rather than go down. He stuck his foot in the ground, worked his way back across, did a really good job there of picking his way through.
15 seconds now. Klebon's going to throw it. He's looking for Garcia. It's batted and it falls incomplete. Batted at the line of scrimmage, fell in front of Masala, I think that is out there. Yeah, that's Masala. But no harm, no foul for the Tigers, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, good job there. I didn't get to see exactly who it was that got their hand up, but it was one of those big defensive linemen was able to get their hand on that ball. Really nice job there defensively. That's a big play.
And the ball's actually marked at the 36. So if you're the Red Tornadoes, at this point, you got 10.5 seconds. You can give up 35 3/4 yards at this point. You just got to keep him out of the end zone. Klebon's under pressure. They got a screen set up. Kier's in position. He does a great job of grabbing Barnes and holding on until the cavalry comes.
And they're going to call a last-second timeout, it looks like. Very last second.
When I heard the whistle, I legitimately thought it was the end of the half, but there is a Tiger down. Now, fortunately, it was Barnes who was down, but fortunately he pops back up and is going to make his way off the field.
Actually,
so
I think that was Garcia down. I think the screenplay was set up there to Barnes. I can't tell, his jersey's all
yeah, I
bunched
think
up.
I still see 5 out on the field, so that's Barnes.
Okay, I stand corrected. Yes, you are correct. That is Barnes.
So now, 0.3 of a second here. In a lot of cases, you might throw the ball as far as you can, see if you can get a defensive penalty, all this kind of thing. But not every team has number 5.
Correct. Yeah. I think you have Garcia in his normal wing spot, and you run a little wheel route with him. If I've seen them do it before, it's been successful many a times because he just can pretty much outrun anybody defensively. So at this point, like you said, if you're Coach Dara, I'm saying, hey, play the goal line. Let's play deep, prevent. Don't let anybody score. Let them catch in front of you.
And you see where it looks like Xavier Diaz on the far side in a corner. He's about 15 yards off the ball, as are Verano and Verano and Kier, and Spears. I'll get this right. It's going to throw it. Going to throw it exactly in that wheel route. It was the wheel route to Garcia. Spears got enough of him to knock him out of bounds. So the first half is going to end with a little bit of excitement, but fortunately not disaster for the Red Tornadoes. We'll go into halftime. 12-0 Tigers here at Tiger Stadium in Catawissa, Pennsylvania. And we'll be back with stats in the second half. So don't go anywhere.
Part of their
Hello, welcome back to Tiger Stadium here in Catawissa, where the Red Tornadoes trail the Southern Columbia Tigers 12-0 at the end of the first half. It was an interesting half. I think a lot of back and forth, maybe some missed opportunities here or there. But Dan, courtesy of Jose, I think you've got some stats. You want to give us those?
Yes. Again, thank you, Jose, for getting these to me so quickly. I was able to actually compile and do a little bit of math in my head. Usually takes me a while. But I was able to get it done here because we got them so quickly. So thanks, Jose. The Red Tornadoes, 21 rushes for 45 yards, 3 of 4 passing. Feliciano's having a decent day throwing the ball for 44 yards for a total of 89 yards of offense for the Red Tornadoes, 6 first downs.
Okay.
Now we head over to the Tiger side. 18 carries for 144 yards. 5 of 6 passing for 76 yards. And that will put us at, what did we say, Jim? 220 total yards of offense for the Tigers and 8 first downs. So, you know, the yardage disparity there makes it really seem like it should be more than 12-0 on that scoreboard.
Yeah.
But the Red Tornadoes, on all of their drives, have kind of controlled the pace, and they've converted on some tough third downs. Now, they didn't convert all of them. They converted on some tough third downs.
Yeah, so how does some of that kind of contribute to your keys of the game?
Yeah, and looking back to my keys to the game here, Jim, they controlled the clock. So the Red Tornadoes definitely controlled the clock. They haven't really been able to stop the run, and they haven't caught that lightning yet. They were right there on that very first drive of the game. They were knocking on the door to kind of put the Tigers on their heels and send them reeling back to the sideline on that first drive.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that little misstep cost them. But for the Tigers, they haven't really made MCA one-dimensional. 45 yards rushing, 44 yards passing.
Right.
They've been pretty balanced.
Pretty balanced.
Yeah, that's pretty much as balanced as you can get. They did get off to a fast start. Their first drive, they had that 4th down conversion that turned into a touchdown for Garcia on that 4th and 7, that double reverse that they turned into a touchdown. And, you know, they have had some success throwing the ball too, which I definitely think has softened up those safeties and started to open up those run lanes. So we'll give them a check mark for opening up those run lanes as well.
Yeah, the 2 big plays, I mean, fortunately, and we were talking about it before we got back on air here, fortunately, one of them, the wheel route to Garcia there for what probably would have amounted to be about 20, 21 yards.
Yeah.
Doesn't, you know, amount to anything ultimately other than just the yardage because the clock expires. And then a big play was the one down the middle to Rose.
Yep. Yeah, and that play was huge. And then the Red Tornadoes, you know, we talked about it, just a little misstep, a little bit of lack of discipline, and they get that big penalty to give them 4 plays from the 12-yard line after the Tigers shoot themselves in the foot a few plays and move themselves backwards, which was able to allow them to get their 2nd touchdown courtesy of West Barnes. What was it, 2-yard West Barnes plunge, I think?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's their 12 points right there. A long run by Garcia on 4th down, and then a little misstep with a penalty, and another 4th down touchdown.
Stellar to kick off. They're going to try the onside kick attempt, but a great play made by number 14, Tyler Arnold, for the Tigers. Recognizing what's happening, securing the ball, and the Tigers are in business already. 1st and 10 at midfield.
And you know what, Jim? I like the idea from Coach Dara. You're down 12-0. You really don't want to give the ball back to this really tough Tiger offense to start the second half. But unfortunately, Arnold, Johnny on the spot there, recovering that one.
Actually start in Red Tornado territory at the 49. And it's going to be Garcia right off the bat, and he is such a tough runner. My goodness. Okay, so we'll see. I'm curious where he's going to get the ball there. They're going to give it to him at the 45. I thought he was out of bounds at the 47. But it'll be 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain.
And you're right, Jim. He stepped out of one tackle, and then it looked like there was no chance. Xavier Diaz had him around the waist and was dragging him to the ground. He was still able to push forward for an extra 3 yards there. That's a tough run there by Garcia.
And Diaz will head out. They'll bring in Bradley for an extra linebacker. And now it's Barnes off the left side. Verano does a good job making the tackle, but not before Barnes gets the first down, and they're inside the 35. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be all the way down to the 31, 1st and 10 Tigers.
Yeah, and Jim, it looked like the entire Tornadoes defense there was geared up for something to the wide side of the field, and they came back with sort of a zone read to that short side, to the home sideline into the boundary. Did a really nice job of it.
This is a little bit of back and forth here. So you saw Diaz came out, so the Red Tornadoes lost a corner, and the Tigers ran at that. Now Bradley goes out, Diaz is back in, and it's going to be Garcia to the right side. He runs through one-arm tackle. Now he's in the open. It's a foot race. You're not going to catch him. Touchdown. Garcia's gone. And with 10:38 left in the third quarter, maybe it's better to say, with a minute 22 into the second half,
yeah,
it's 18-0 Tigers. Again, certainly aided by a short field.
Yeah, definitely aided by the short field. Plus, you know, maybe a little frustration by Garcia. I think he was a little frustrated that he got knocked out of bounds on that last play of the half. He wanted that touchdown there. He wanted to make it 18-0 before halftime. So we're going to see a 2-point conversion here to try and make it 20.
You're going to throw it, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like that was Widener coming in there. They got a hand on it.
Looked like that was number 10, Blake Wise, in a quarterback there as well. Yeah. So it'll stay 18-0 Tigers. But again, Dan, that was awfully quick to make it 3 scores.
It was very quick, Jim. And you know, you mentioned that Blake Wise was in there at quarterback, and I believe that Claiborne kind of hobbled a little bit there at the end of the second quarter. So I'm not sure if we're going to see Wise the rest of the game, but I'm trying to see if we can find Claiborne on the sideline. But if that's the case, I mean, Wise, a talented quarterback, but we may see a lot more of this Tiger run game in the second half if that's the case.
Carter going to kick off for the Tigers here. He'll be kicking off for the 4th time tonight. Spears and Farinado deep for the Red Tornadoes, as has often been the case. So it's going to be Farinado up at the 15 this time. Excuse me, that's Spears. And he'll be stacked up at the 25. 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes from that point.
And now you're going to see, I think we might see a little bit of adjustments here from the Red Tornadoes. We're used to seeing that shotgun double wing, but I'm expecting to see maybe Coach Dara put the ball in the air a little bit more, because you got a lot of time left in this game. There's so much time left, but you know, that tough grinded out, being down 18 points to that tough grinded out offense, you're running out of time to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust every play.
Be handoff to Verano, and there's nowhere to go for Verano. Nice play there by the Tigers front to kind of blow that one up. It's like 64 looking Sharrows in there.
Yeah, it's a really good job there defensively by the Tigers. That nowhere for Verano to go. That play did not pop like it normally does. So again, 2nd and, you know, behind the sticks here. We'll see what Coach Dara opts to do.
Yeah, one of the things, Dan, too, that we talked about, you talked about the yardage disparity in the first half, and the Tigers had, you know, 220 yards but only 2 scores. A lot of that is because you were making them go 90 yards.
That is true,
for those drives. And when you shorten the field like that, you see just how quickly they were able to strike. And we'll get a flag here. It's going to be an illegal motion against the Red Tornadoes to take another 5 back. It'll be 2nd and 18 from the 17.
Okay, so this, again, Red Tornadoes here, maybe getting a little jumpy, you know, a little trying to jump that snap to get that push, because that offensive line is doing a great job up front. But this Tiger defense, they're bringing those blitzes. They got those linebackers walking up to the line of scrimmage. They get you a little bit sometimes. You know, they get that foot stomping right in front of your face. Sometimes it's just that little move is enough to get you to jump.
It's a handoff to Stellar up the middle. A good job getting back to the original line of scrimmage. maybe plus a yard. It'll be about the 26-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it's a good job there by Stellar. Again, you know, with them linebackers kind of coming on every play up the middle, if you're able to hit that gap that they're not blitzing, or you're able to get just a little seal block, that opens up a big lane, and you have open field until you get into the secondary.
You see the way that Tiger defense is moving, Dan. I mean, it's always aggressive for sure, but to your point before about stacking the line, this is a good team, this is a good program. You wonder if they're starting to smell a little bit of blood in the water. 3rd and 9, Feliciano to throw. The Red Sox trying to set up a screen, but there's nowhere for Feliciano to go with the football. He's going to be sacked. He'll go back to the 15-yard line. Again, Burlett's in there. Certainly he's been in Feliciano's ear hole for most of the night.
Yeah, Jim, that's a tough play there. With how much pressure this Tiger defense is getting, and with how fast they are all around, screenplay not looking like it's going to be a good option going forward here. But on 3rd and long, it's kind of where you got to go.
Stellar to punt from the shadow of his own end zone. It's a nice punt.
Really nice punt.
It's going to bounce. Garcia's going to consider picking it up again, and he does. And the reason he does it is because he's going to pick up a lot more. He's going to pick up about 6 extra yards there, as if he'd have just let it lie. So it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at midfield. So now the Tigers have 2 second-half drives. One started at the plus 49, and one starts at midfield.
Yeah, so this is, again, you talked about it. You know, the Red Tornadoes giving them long fields. You know, we're able to kind of grind those drives out. But now short fields, you're right, and you're giving the ball back to this team. Down 3 scores. There's a lot of work to do. Defensively, you need to get a stop here.
Trying to get a better look. Yep, so it is not, well, hold on. First of all, we've got Garcia to left side. He's going to get dropped inside the 40. Not 40, is a good run, 1st down and more. But again, just to kind of follow up, that is Wise in there at quarterback again. So, again, trying to find Klebon on the sideline, but I think it's probably safe to say he's done for the night.
Yeah, I'm assuming if we can't find him here on the sideline, he may be in the locker room getting tended to, whatever the injury may have been. But I think you're right, Jim. I think we're probably going to see Wise for the duration of the second half.
Probably a lot of number 5, too.
Yes.
If I had to guess.
I would say so.
But this time it's going to be Barnes up the middle, and he'll do a nice job on that quick hitter, getting inside the 35 to the 34, give him about 5 yards.
Yeah, and again, you know, that Barnes is the change of pace back. You know, I mean, he's the 2nd leading rusher on this team, so he's not only a change of pace guy. He can carry the load as well. But when you have Garcia hitting the outside and making guys miss, Barnes is that downhill runner that you're going to give that ball up the middle. He's got the ability to get to the outside and make guys miss, but usually he's going to be the bruiser. He's going to get out in front of Garcia, or he's going to take a little dive for himself.
And it's Garcia, and I'm not sure how he came out of there, but Garcia's gone again. This one from 34 yards, 24-0 Tigers.
Yeah, we'll see them. Looks like we're going to see them go for 2 again here. But yeah, again, that was the play right there. I just talked about how you get Barnes out in front of Garcia, and looked like Barnes leading Garcia through that 5 hole there on just a straight power play. You know, there's nothing fancy there. It didn't look like there was any pulling guards, tackles, anything. That's a straight power on a straight down block and a kick out, and Garcia just found the seam and got it in there.
Wise is going to throw it again, and he's got Burlett's open in the back of the end zone, so that's good. So the 3rd time's the charm there on the 2-point conversions. 26-0 Tigers.
Yeah, and again, you know, we talked about it. That's that quick strike ability from that Tigers offense, and it's usually Garcia. And you know, that kid just continues to prove to you why he was the Pennsylvania 2A Player of the Year last year, and he hasn't really given anybody any reason to doubt that decision.
Yeah, so you got through the first 24 minutes of play, the Tigers give you 12 points. Through the last 5 minutes and 21 seconds, they give you 14.
Yeah.
So that's how you win 64 games in a row.
Agreed. Yeah, and you said it. It's field position, it's halftime adjustments, it's a lot of different things. And you know, we talked about it last week. They went into the half losing 30-13 to Wyoming area.
Yep.
And they come back out in halftime and they win that game 37-30. It's impressive, but that's what happens when you run the same schemes as a coach for 30-plus years, as Coach Roth has.
It'll be Spears from the 6. And there's the kick coverage is terrific by the Tigers. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to get stopped inside. Nope, they'll give him forward progress to the 20. 1st and 10 Red Tornadoes there with 6:32 left in the third quarter, trailing the Tigers here at Tiger Stadium, 26-0.
Yeah, you're right, Jim. And that was just discipline there on that kick coverage. I saw 4 or 5 black jerseys that didn't come down out of control. They met their blockers and kind of just pressed them. They didn't try to run right through them until they saw where Spears decided to go, and then they shed and they make the tackle.
Stellar up the middle. Give him a yard. 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Stellar still grinding it out, still running hard here. Just trying to get any sort of spark for this Red Tornado offense. And I think at this point here, we got to see something different out of this offense. You're not going to be able to grind this one out the rest of the game. We got to get some points, and you got to get them quick.
So Feliciano's in the gun again. It's Verano and Widener are to his right, kind of in the wing. Stellar to the left, double tight for the Red Tornadoes. It's Verano in motion. They're going to fake it to him. Feliciano's going to try to throw. The ball's on the ground, and the Tigers are going to recover. 1st and goal at the, let's see where they mark it. It's the 8 or the 9. They're going to call it the 9. So it's 1st and goal from the 9, and things have gone from bad to worse for the guys in white.
Yeah, Jim, I think that was Berlitz again, first man on the scene, and I think he was the one that was able to pop that ball out from Feliciano. And, you know, we don't always see Berlitz out there on offense. It looked like they just sent him out there. So maybe say, hey, you keep doing that on defense, maybe we're going to try and get you a score offensively.
He did catch the 2-point conversion, so they like throw to a big kid in the back of the end zone. We'll see what Wise does. They're going to give it to Barnes off the left side, and he's going to get tripped up by Davitt. He'll get down to the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal from there.
Yeah, that's a good job. Davitt's been all over the field today. That kid's been playing his heart out defensively. And that's what this whole Red Tornado defense is going to have to continue to just kind of grind it out. You got to get a stop here at some point. You know, this is one of those plays where things are still, as you said, they're going from bad to worse, and they're starting to stretch this lead even further.
This time it's Masala off the right side. He puts his foot in the ground, cuts back across the grain, and he lowers his head. He's in for a Tiger touchdown. Matt Masala from 5 yards out. 32-0 Tigers.
Yeah, and that's a good job there by Masala, the senior running back there,
getting his chance in there today and making the most of it. He's doing a really good job. Did a nice job putting his foot in the ground, like you said, finding that cutback lane and getting up in that seam and making a play.
We got an official timeout as 54 Carson Savitsky is going to come off the field. Not sure if it was just...
Usually it's equipment or maybe some blood has to get cleaned up, something along those lines.
Sometimes, as we saw last week, he just stayed on the ground for a second too long.
Yeah, that's true. That could be it too.
So Carter on for the extra point. It's down, it's up, it's good. 33-0 Tigers.
Yeah, nice job there by Carter, punching that one through.
Yeah, so while we wait for the special teams to get on the field, Dan, I took a look at ScoreStream before. It looks like at the moment, Loyalsock and Montoursville are in a barn burner. 7-6 Loyalsock right now. That's at the half.
Okay, that's
so you got that one.
Heck of a game there.
It's like Danville beating up on Central 41-0.
Okay.
Warrior run in Hughesville. They're deadlocked at 0. So we'll see. Try to give some updates as we go.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Anything on Bloom? You know, that's Red Tornadoes' opponent next week will be Bloomsburg. I believe that's back at the Silver Bowl as well.
It is.
Which would be nice to head back home.
They're 6-6 with Williams Valley right now at the half.
Another good game there. Williams Valley is no slouch. Williams Valley is a tough football team.
Carter on to kick off again. It'll be, oh, looks like a little change for the Red Tornadoes actually. Is that, let's see, is that Felice? That's
Diaz.
Diaz, yep. But it'll be Spears again, and he's going to be tackled by, we'll try to get a jersey number. Is that Garrett Garcia?
That is Garrett Garcia.
Of course it is.
Coming down there. And,
great play.
Very, very good play. Really good tackle. Looked like he kind of came through, was able to evade some blockers, and first man on the scene and first man to make the tackle. Jim, you mentioned that we saw Spears and Verano back there, and then that time around we saw Spears and Diaz. Haven't seen Farinado at all in this second half. I'm not sure if he got shaken up in that first half, but we'll have to see if we can get an update on that. Have not seen him since halftime.
That's going to be Pedro Feliciano keeping himself. You're right, Dan. I was looking. It's Spears is split out to the left and Verano split out to the right.
Yeah.
And I'm scouring the Red Tornado sideline trying to find the young man in the number 4 jersey. Whether he's doesn't appear to be him on the bench. Looks like there's somebody sitting on the bench, but can't tell that that's number 4.
Yeah.
I think that's David, and
yeah.
he's just taking a breather. So Feliciano, he'll take the snap. He's going to throw it. He's looking for Spears. It'll be incomplete. Going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Red Tornadoes.
And that's well defended over there by, it looked like Connor Gallagher, number 33, at that corner spot. Red Tornadoes in the first half were having a lot of success with those little hitch routes, just getting these guys a little bit of space. But Gallagher that time not fooled. And as soon as Spears stuck his foot in the ground, he was coming up for that ball.
So again, 3rd and 10. Spears will be split out to the left, Verano to the right. 2 tight ends, Widener in there with Feliciano. Feliciano's going to keep it himself. He's got a little bit of space. He tries to cut up field. Garcia's going to force him to change direction. He's going to be dropped just across the 20 at the 22. So it's going to be 4th and about 7, and the Red Tornadoes will be punting.
Yeah, we'll see again. It looks like Barnes going back to return the punt. Don't see anybody else. Or no, I'm sorry, Garcia back there to return the punt. Earlier in the game, I think we saw Garcia and Barnes, but this time just Garcia. So we'll see if Stellar opts to stay away from him.
Stellar takes the snap. There's a flag. The punt is away from Garcia. If you let it get too close to him, he's going to pick it up.
Right.
So Verano downs it at the 45, but we'll see.
Looked like that flag was going to be a hold on the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, now this is interesting because if I'm Coach Roth, I'm just being honest, I'm going to make them repunt.
Agreed.
Even though, again, you get the ball at pretty much midfield, which is good. Listen, I want you to punt to Garcia as many times as I can get it.
And also, we talked about Berlitz getting pressure on Feliciano passing the ball. Berlitz has also been putting a lot of pressure on the punts.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten there yet, but he's been getting pretty close. But it doesn't look like they're going to do that.
No, it looks like do they have the option to take the 10 yards?
From the spot of the return, maybe.
It was just an illegal formation. Well, the Tigers just declined the penalty. So the ball's going to stay where Verano downed it at the 45.
Or no, it looks like they're going to walk this off. They are going to walk it off 10 yards. 5 yards, sorry. You're right, procedure penalty.
So 3 drives in the 3rd quarter so far for the Tigers. 4 drives, excuse me, right. The plus 49, midfield, the plus 8, and midfield.
Yeah, that's
That's tough sledding there for the Red Tornadoes with that potent of an offense.
It's going to be Garcia, and he loses his footing, and it's everything the Red Tornadoes can do to make sure he stays in the middle of the field. No gain on that one, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and that's one of the few times you're going to say carry by Garcia for no gain.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for the Red Tornadoes tonight, but they're playing against a Class A running back right there. It's hard to slow that kid down.
And I think I saw in one of the papers this morning he's a Kent State commit.
Kent State commit. Okay. Well, I remember we talked about earlier in the week. He's got had a lot of offers,
Yeah.
and he must be an intelligent kid too, because a lot of them were Ivy League offers.
Well, he certainly knows how to run so you don't get tackled, which is unbelievable. I mean, this kid down inside the 10. Let's see where they mark him. They mark him at the 9. There were a host of Red Tornadoes that had an opportunity to bring him down, couldn't get it done. He's going to pick up 31.
Spears, the one that finally is able to bring him down, and was a little hobbled coming off. Looked like his helmet came off there as well.
Excuse me, 41 yards.
So we're going to see Chase Belichick head in there
At that corner spot to spell Spears.
It looks like we'll see again this. Well, that's okay. So Bradley's going to go in. Kier's going to come out because we've seen them swap Bradley in the corner at different times when they decide, almost like they're going to go with an additional. Well, that's exactly what it is. You go with an extra linebacker instead of the extra defensive back.
Yeah, it's like you're going from a dime package to a nickel package. It's just a run stop package as opposed to a pass defense package.
Wise is going to be under center. Masala in the left wing, Garcia in the right, Wazlowski right behind him. It's going to be Wazlowski. He's going to try to run for that pylon, and is he going to get it? He does.
Jim, that's actually Trevor Yorks. That's
It's
28.
York, 28. Good catch, Dan. So it'll be his first touchdown of the night. Another one for the Tigers. 1:38 left in the third quarter. 39-0.
Yeah, Jim, and that's again, that's just a combination of good starting field position and just grade A running by Garcia to get them down into that field position, and then Yorks to kind of finish it off with that big run.
Carter's kick is up and good. So that'll put us at a 40-point deficit here for the Red Tornadoes.
And Jim, we'll see again. We've talked about this before. This is one of those situations now for the Red Tornadoes where you're over there on the sideline, you're talking to each other. Now we're for one, there's still nearly 14 minutes left in this game, and with how quickly those plays can pop, there's always a chance that you can get yourself back in this game. But whether you get yourself back into it or not, you make the terrific comeback, you're playing for pride at this point. You go out there and you're trying to put it all on the line. You're trying to move the ball and just have some success, something to roll in the next week.
Yeah, and one thing, Dan, you talked about 14 minutes. It is 14 minutes, but it's going to be a running clock from here on out, as getting over that 35-point mark is going to institute the mercy rule.
Agreed, yes. That is correct. But again, these Red Tornadoes, one score stops that clock again.
Carter's kick is going to be taken by Spears at the 15. And Spears has a little bit of space there. Nice return. He'll get out to about the 40-yard line. So the Red Tornadoes have their best field position of the second half.
And good to see Spears back in there. Like we said, he was a little bit hobbled after making that tackle on that touchdown saving tackle on Garcia there. See him back in there and making a nice return, getting up in that briar patch and fighting his way through.
So the clock is stopped right now. See what the Red Tornadoes have going on here. And there it is, it's on the move again. So the Red Tornadoes are going to come in a little tighter again. Looks like Spears is in there at quarterback now, and Davitt to his left. He's going to hand it to Davitt. He's going to go up the middle. First play from scrimmage for Davitt, or first carry, that is. He'll pick up a first down, get him in Tiger territory, gain of 11.
Yeah, and I like that call from Coach Dara there. You get David in there. He's been putting forth a ton of work on the defensive side of the ball. Reward him. Let him get a couple carries.
Doesn't look to be any other changes for the Red Tornadoes. Again, just Spears in there for Feliciano, Davitt for Stellar. Spears is going to keep it himself. He's going to take a shot from number 14, Tyler Arnold. So he's going to drop him there after a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, so we'll see what they decide to do here. If it seems like Coach Dara likes to, especially when Spears is in there, he likes to give him a chance to throw that ball around a little bit. So we'll see if they decide they opt to do that here, if they're going to stick with the ground game.
It's going to be a snap to Widener. It was low. He did a good job picking the ball up off the turf. He'll get another 3, we'll say. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. But we got the clock under 10 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if they just let it run out.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Red Tornadoes do. So at the end of 3, it's Tigers 40, Red Tornadoes nothing. So and again, we talked about it before. If you're watching this game, wherever you are, especially if you're watching it on Friday night, we want to just give a big shout out to Hollywood Pizza and Bakery in Mount Carmel, tonight's sponsors, to make sure we can get this up online for you to enjoy it from the comfort of your home, your club, your association, wherever you might be.
Exactly.
And certainly, from Dan and I, a big thank you to WKMC TV studio, student-run TV studio, putting forward a terrific product, as always, for Red Tornadoes near and far to enjoy watching their Big Red here.
Yeah, and we always, we are always so happy to be out here and to be able to be a part of this. I love coming out to these games. We get to go to every game. We usually get some preferred seating here up in the press box, especially when it gets a little cooler. Sometimes they put us on the roof, sometimes we're on the bleachers, but every time we come over here to Southern Columbia, they have a nice warm spot for us in the box up here, which we appreciate.
David's going to get the first down. It'll be upended. But again, he picks up the first down. He gets to the 33-yard line. Another first down for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, David looks like he shot out of a cannon when he gets that ball handed to him. He is moving. That kid has got some wheels. And David might be vying for a chance to get a couple more carries next week, maybe.
Trying to convince Coach, yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Absolutely.
Again, most of those carries have been monopolized, so to speak, throughout the first 4 weeks by Feliciano, Stellar, Verano, and Farinado, and with much success. But now Spears is going to throw it. He's going to throw it for Chigatano. It's a little short.
Oh.
Just fall incomplete. He had him open. The ball was just a little bit short, but again, the clock's going to continue to run here with the incomplete pass.
And Chigatano almost did a fantastic job of scooping that off the turf. Ref was in good position. I think if there would have been somebody obstructing that view, that might have been called a completion, because he made that look like he caught that ball.
Right back on the line for the Red Tornadoes, 2nd and 10. Verano comes in motion. There's a lot of movement there. I'm not sure if that's going to be against the Red Tornadoes. I think the Tigers moved first in that case.
Yeah, they're going to get them with the offsides and an easy 5 yards here for this Red Tornadoes team, which is continuing to move the ball. They're putting together a nice drive here, Jim.
Number 51, Dylan Stein, heading in there for the Tigers, as both sides have made some changes. Try to pick up some jersey numbers as we can. We get another movement there from the Red Tornadoes, or excuse me, from the Tigers. Another offsides, and it'll be a first down this time.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way you can get a first down there for the Red Tornadoes. Two times you come out over the ball, you don't have to snap it, and you got a free 10 yards and a first down.
So they'll now be down to the 23. They're going to get it again. So 3 plays, 3 offside penalties against the Tigers.
And a nice, easy 15 yards there for the Red Tornadoes. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that on the Red Tornadoes sideline, at least.
Chicatano going to head to the sideline. Liam Bradley, number 30, he's in now at the tight end position opposite Schultz.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Kier in there as well at that right tackle spot. So we've definitely got some changes on that offensive line.
It's going to be Spears, the middle on the 1st and 5. He'll get inside the 15 to the 14. It's going to be close to a first down. It is a first down.
Yeah, and on that offensive line, looks like we still got 77 Noah Shimko in there. We've also got Kenny Wetzel, usually goes in there at the center spot, so I believe we got him in there at the center. Actually, no, he's at the, yes, he is in the center. Kellen Geary bumps over to the guard.
Another handoff to Davitt inside the 10.
We've also got, looks like Dalton Moser's still in there on the offensive line as well. But these guys, that offensive line, still doing a great job. Still, doesn't matter who you have in there. We've still got beef, and we've still got some power in there, Jim. And they're showing it right now. They're just kind of gashing this Tigers defense.
This one's going to be a handoff to Verano on the inside trap. He'll get inside the 5 to the 4. I think that's going to be another first down. Nope, it's going to be 3rd and about a yard here. 8:50 and counting left in this one. Tigers on top of the Red Tornadoes, 40-0.
Yeah, this is, you know, we talked about it, Jim. This is one of those situations, you know, like for the Red Tornadoes. You want to see this. You want to have a good drive put together, a little bit of momentum to kind of roll into next week.
Spears keeps it himself off the right side. He's going to be into the end zone, so the Red Tornadoes will get on the board here. 5-yard plunge from Spears and the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, that's a really good job there by Spears. Getting up in there, not shying away from the contact. That little spin move at the end gets him into the end zone. And again, got to give the credit to the big offensive line.
Stellar will come in to kick. Verano to hold. The kick is up and good. And so again, while it's a tough night for the Red Tornadoes at 40-7 now, that's not an insignificant kick.
No.
Because what that's going to do, that's going to be Stellar's 101st extra point, which is going to put him into a tie for 2nd place with Rosalino Mangiapane.
Yes. Yep. So that's definitely a very significant extra point for Stellar, and you know, we hope to see many more moving forward. He may get the opportunity this year to move into 1st place all time. I think you know, I mean, it could definitely happen this week, but I think next week, sometime, he's definitely going to overtake that 2nd place spot. And then it's just a matter of if he can get caught up to Sinkovich there.
And you got to remember, they missed what, 6-7 games last year.
Yeah, so
with the shortened season.
He may have been in, you know, closing in on 1st place by the end of the year last year.
So now that 7 points will bring us back within the 35-point threshold. So the clock is stopped here at 8:23. Again, the Red Tornadoes certainly like to get the ball back here, have an opportunity to have a couple offensive drives here. Again, at 33-point deficit with 8.5 left, it might be a little bit out of reach. But as you said before, Dan, the Red Tornadoes are going to try to onside it again. But it's once again, is that Arnold again? Nope, that's not Arnold that time. Looks like 31 Colden Bloom, who's going to do a nice job of securing the onside kick attempt. That'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at the 43.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot there. Bloom, just like Arnold was in the last time around. You know, being prepared for that, when you think with this much of a deficit, you think that Red Tornadoes are probably going to kick it deep. But they do a good job there, kind of just getting on it by Bloom.
And we'll see what this Tigers offense has.
And Bloom's going to go in there on offense now. Again, we'll try to get some jersey numbers here. Looks like number 76, Nevin Deal is in there. Again, we talked about Bloom. Number 6, Jacob Hoy. Number 50, Aiden Barkavage. Tigers making some changes here now. The clock, as often happens in this case, trying to get the ball snapped. Wise will stay out there as a quarterback as he was. And the ball's on the turf, and the Red Tornadoes dive on that.
Looks like that is Red Tornado ball.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel. And we'll see what their offensive set looks like. So, again, I'm going to try to get some of these jersey numbers out here, Dan. Try to shout out some of these Red Tornadoes. Looks like we've got 45 Yager Delaney's out there, 28 Al Bailey. 7 Matt Belichick is going to be in a quarterback right now.
Yep. Maddox Reed.
Yep, Reed to his left. Reed got in there so late, Belichick had to give him the play. And
he's going to get the ball as well.
So we're going to call a pitch to Johnny.
That's
And a handoff to Reed off the right side. But talked about Matt Belichick, Chase Belichick in there as well. 72, Maddox Lamas. 57. Is that 57, Dan? I don't see 57. So we got
54, Caden Hine.
Good eyes.
Thank you. Let's see who's in at that fullback spot. Oh, that's
Belichick's going to throw it to Bailey. He hits him in stride. Bailey's going to be down inside the 10 to the. They're going to mark him at the 5-yard line. So a nice pitch and catch from Belichick to Bailey. That 12, Dan, was Andrew Lukoski.
Okay, yeah, and that's a really, really nice job there.
He came in motion and carried out the fake.
You got 31 Braden Brinkash there in there as well at the fullback spot. But yeah, really nice ball there from Belichick. Great job.
Now it's Xavier Diaz to Belichick's left. And they're going to give him the football off the right side. He's going to cut it, and he's going to get spun down. See, did he get in the end zone? No.
Just short. Nice job there by Diaz, though. Just getting in there. you run all the way from the sideline. You get in there. You get your play call, and you're like, okay, it's coming to me. You get a chance to catch your breath, and then you got the ball in your hands.
And it looks like
the guys are sharing wristbands here.
That's Reed will go back in. Diaz will come out. So you never really know what's going to happen this late in the ball game.
We're going to see a keep for Belichick here.
Good call, Dan, off the right side. He's going to lower his head, and he's in for another Red Tornado touchdown. So that'll be the first. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't have the official stats, but I'm fairly confident saying that's the first varsity touchdown of the career for Matt Belichick.
Yeah, and many more to come. The Belichick twins, Matt and Chase, were at Supper Club last night, Jim, at West End, catered by Chicatano's Pizza. Really nice job there.
Which means next week it'll be at the Knights of Columbus, catered by Hollywood.
Correct. And really, really nice night there for Supper Club. And got to hear a little bit from the Belichick twins. And I'm not sure if their dad, Coach Belichick, who's a basketball coach, not sure if he was real happy about it, but I believe it was Matt said that he likes football a little bit more than basketball, just a little bit. It's close, but he said he's going to go with football. So
it's a low snap there. Fernando does a good job fielding it. Stellar drives it through, so it's 40-14 now, but that puts Stellar in sole possession of second place all-time in extra points at Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and that's another great job there by Stellar, and good job. We talk about Stellar and everything that he's doing. He wouldn't be able to do that without the snap and the hold from Verano.
Yeah.
Verano always does a good job handling those snaps that I believe come from Nick Nestico. I believe he's the long snapper, but I'll have to get a verification on that. I believe it's Nestico. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. If you're at home, run back the tape and tell me who it is, because they're always getting that snap back there quick enough for Verano to handle it, get it down. and it always turns out, I mean, it's been a pretty long time, and Stellar does not miss very many PATs. And a lot of that is thanks to, obviously, his golden leg, but also that snap and that hold.
Number 6, Drew Jagodinski kicking off for the Red Tornadoes. Is going to be a high kick. It's going to be taken by the Tigers at about the 12. Just trying to see a number, but my
like
goodness.
Weaver.
With that kind of speed. And there's going to be a flag there to add to it. So you have 26, Dan, to your point. I think it was 26, which is Murphy.
You are correct, Jim. Loudon Murphy.
Loudon Murphy, and they're going to add 15 yards there. Reed, just as you're trying to pull him down out of bounds, just got a little bit of the helmet there.
Yeah, we'll see if they give him the 15 or if they call the inadvertent here, the 5 yard. I think that's what the discussion is at this point.
See, the ball as it stands is down at the 35-yard line, so a huge return there by Murphy.
Yes, definitely a huge return, especially after, you know, 2 big drives there for the Red Tornadoes.
Just looking at who the Red Tornadoes have sent out there defensively. The names we haven't mentioned, it looks like 17, Orville Fesniak. Number 9, Hunter Boblick.
Looks like number 70, Michael Langton on the defensive line. 72 as well, Maddox Lamas. I think we mentioned him earlier.
Looks like Lukoski, Bolichik, Bailey, Jagodinski, Delaney.
Yep.
Diaz is back out there.
Yeah. I think we got everybody there, Jim. We mentioned everyone.
So I think what the confusion is, Dan, here, and I'll admit I missed it again. We talked about having our vision blocked a little bit.
Yeah.
There's another flag on the field.
Okay.
And I think that's what some of the conversation is with the southern sideline, to kind of see which one of these do you want.
Right.
So there's a block in the back against the Tigers. Face mask against the Red Tornadoes.
They're going to offset and a re-kick, or I'm just confused as to where they're going to place it.
So we got a kind of a re-up there by the official. The Tigers are just going to decline the face mask penalty. So they'll take the block in the back and decline the penalty against the Red Tornadoes. So it'll be 1st and 10 Tigers at the 38-yard line.
Okay. So that's,
Which, again, I think to your point before, if it's not, you know, a 26-point ball game here with 5 minutes left, they're going to offset, you're going to re-kick.
Right.
But I think in interest of getting snaps for some of their younger guys, the Tigers were more than okay to take the penalty and hand it to number 2, Carter Madden.
Yeah, that's a really good run, and that kid has got some lightning quick feet there. He did a really good job making one little cut and getting up into the seam there. And looked like he was going to be gone, but good job there making the tackle. That was Orville Fesniak, I think, chasing him down there, right? 17 on the play. Really nice job there. He didn't get too far ahead of him. He didn't give him a cutback lane. He did just enough to make that tackle and save a touchdown there.
This one's going to be off the left side. Nice move there to get past the initial defender. That was number 26, Murphy again. So again, Murphy at the big return. Try to put the ball back in his hands. 4:22 left in this one. 40-14 Tigers.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Murphy. Just realizing that he's probably not going to get to the corner, so picked his way through and got what he could, making that cutback. Nice job.
He gained about 4 2nd and 6 from the 28-yard line. Tigers jumped out to a 40-0 lead here. The Red Tornadoes have put 2 on in the last few minutes. Make it 40-14. Nice tackle made by Jagodinski for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, real nice job there by Jagodinski, getting in there and kind of getting into that, filling his gap that he was responsible for on that play, and
making that play at the line of scrimmage, actually behind the line of scrimmage. It looked like for a yard loss.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 now. That was Carter Madden on the carry.
Looks like Al Bailey comes out and Ben Miller
Comes into the game at that left defensive end.
Murphy goes in motion. They hand it to him. And the Red Tornadoes do a good job of sniffing that out there. Diaz is on that side as well as Belichick. So great play there made. And that's Chase Belichick, excuse me. Great play made there to create another 2-yard loss, 4th and 9.
Yeah, that's a really good job. You know, we don't get to mention it too often, Jim, but we're getting an opportunity here. And did find out last night at the Supper Club that this Red Tornadoes team, this Red Tornadoes JV squad, is currently undefeated. And I think a lot of these guys get their shots on the JV team as well as out here with varsity team, and they're kind of showing why they're
That's going to
undefeated.
be Carter Madden. Again, tries to get that corner. The Red Tornadoes won't give it up. Again, it's Diaz and Belichick. They made the stop on the far corner on 3rd down, and then they make the stop on the near side here on 4th down. So the Red Tornado offense will take over with 2:16 left in this ball game.
Yeah, and Jim, I think Diaz and Belichick are kind of your boundary guys. I think that's what it is. That, you know, the boundary was to the wide side. They're over there making a play. Then the boundary's back to our side of the field here, which the Southern Columbia side, where the press box is, where we're posted up at, is the wide side of the field, and they're the boundary guys. So they must be the speed guys.
Belichick in there again, a quarterback. He sends Diaz in motion, but they're going to hand it inside to try to get a jersey number here. That was Lukoski, who does a nice job, picks up about 9. I'll get to the 35.
Yeah, really nice job there by Lukoski, just getting up into the seam there. It looked like he even got that and kind of came right up behind the center and picked his way for 9 yards. It's a really nice run.
Looks like 53, Jacob Doak in there. I don't think we talked about him before. Number 13, Daniel Velasquez.
Daniel Velasquez was another young man that was at Supper Club last night. He's been having a big year on the JV team as well. Again, getting his shot here at that wing slot.
And that handoff is to number 19, Ethan Urban-Abbage. He'll be tackled in the backfield as we approach 1 minute left in this one.
Yeah, and again, this Red Tornado offense is looking pretty solid right now. You know, we talk about it all the time, how there's just so much depth on these teams. I think the future is bright for this Red Tornado team, as well as the future for this season and the future going forward, future seasons.
Belichick's going to keep it himself up the middle, get the 1st down. Out across the 40 to the 41. That'll momentarily stop the clock as they reset the chains. But they'll get that moving pretty quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they'll get that ball set, and it doesn't look like we're going to have to snap it.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's real close. But I think they're going to try and get at least another playoff here for the Red Tornadoes. Maybe let Belichick put it in the air again.
He's going to keep it himself up the middle. Stays on his feet across the 45. Get to the 47, gain of about 6. But that's going to be the last play of the ball game as the clock hits 0. The Tiger winning streak hits 65 consecutive games, courtesy of a 40-14 victory here over the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Jim, that puts them 1 game away from tying the all-time mark of 66 consecutive. And I believe that was I don't remember the name of the school, but I believe it was a team from Alabama. So we'll see. They'll be chasing that one next week against, I believe, Wyomissing.
Yeah, it is Wyomissing next week. They're at Wyomissing. They've had some road trips. The Tigers.
Yes, they have.
Headed out to Wyoming area last week. Then they get a home game, Wyomissing next week. The Red Tornadoes, conversely, are at home versus Bloomsburg. And again, we talked about Bloomsburg before. They were locked up in a tight one with Williams Valley.
Yeah. And again, you know, It's a tough game there for the Red Tornadoes. This is a very, very talented Tigers team that you're playing against. So the Red Tornadoes did all they could. They gave them everything they could in the first half. Had a few things that didn't break their way, and that was those were kind of the straws that broke the camel's back and opened up the floodgates for the Tigers in the second half. Was a field position, a turnover, and that was kind of what took this game from 12-0 at half to 40-0 at the end of the third.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think you got to take away from tonight. And you got to. I'm still trying to look down at the field here. Just curious, what's up with Farinado?
Yeah.
Want to make sure that he's all right. Again, because he's a glaring exception, but it does seem like the Red Tornadoes came out tonight largely healthy. Once we can kind of confirm what his situation is.
Yeah, and last week, you know, we had Matt Kelly, you talked about it earlier, go out, didn't play the second half. It was great to see him back. He was in there for the whole game. Matt Chicatano was banged up a little bit last week, along with Julian Stellar, and they all were back and healthy this week. So again, you know, we talked about Stellar. Hopefully we talked about Farinado. We're hoping we can get an update on that and definitely see him back out on the field, because he is a huge part of this Red Tornadoes offense and defense. So we talked about it. Third leading tackler, third leading rusher.
So tonight's loss will drop the Red Tornadoes to 3-2 after 5 weeks, which I'm going to go back and have this stat for you guys next week. I swear it's got to be the last 6 or 7 years they've been 3-2 after 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's how it is, because you get North Schuylkill in the first couple weeks, you get Southern, and then they've been able to go on a run, and in most cases you go on that run through the district playoffs, and you find yourselves back here, you know, in late October, early November. So
yeah, it seemed like a lot. You're right. It seemed like a lot of times they finish out the regular season at either 7-3 or 8-2, and then they go in and they finish out, you know, unfortunately with a loss to Southern Columbia at 10-3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They start off 8-2, and then they come over here to Southern after 2 playoff games, 10-3.
So we'll give you some quick stats, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, and so to finish the game out, we have Mount Carmel rushing 43 carries for 108 yards, 4 of 7 passing for 82 yards, 12 first downs in the day for the Red Tornadoes. So they did a good job moving the chains, but unfortunately just couldn't keep up with this Tigers offense. 34 rushes for the Tigers, 335 yards it looks like. 5 of 6 passing for 76 yards, 14 first downs, and obviously 40 points on the scoreboard. So that's a tough break, and it's a lot of yards for that. That's over 400 yards of offense.
Yeah, so
for that Tigers team.
Disappointing break tonight, but I think through the first 5 weeks, more good than bad for the Red Tornadoes. We're going to call it a night here from Tiger Stadium. I'm Jim Lesko.
I'm Dan Lesko.
And for Jose Gonzalo, thanks for watching. This has been a WKMC TV broadcast, and we will see you next week back at the Silver Bowl.